Good afternoon, everyone. I'm YC. Welcome to my channel, YC Cooks and Bakes. Today, I am going to be making a chili cheese brat casserole. Now, in 2019, I showed a lot of people, and some of those people are still with me, how to make a chili cheese dog casserole. Well, we since stopped using the hot dogs, and now we use these cheddar brats. And we get these at Aldi. And I apologize if you don't have an Aldi, but you may have brats somewhere in a market similar to, to these. I don't know. But back then, we did a chili cheese dog casserole with hot dogs. And it has ground beef and hot dogs and everything in it. And this one's going to have ground beef and cheddar brats. But back then, and it was done, believe it or not, the last day of August in 2019, and I figured it out as an economical meal because it was $2.24 a plate, $2.24 a serving. Now, I redid all the math. I figured it all out again, and it only comes to 63 cents more now. I'm very surprised. I thought it was going to come out to way more than that, but now it's $2.89 a plate instead of $2.24. It's $2.89. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And if you're new here and you like this recipe, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe so that you can get my recipe in the description. And back then, I didn't put the recipe in the description. For whatever reason, I guess I just wasn't doing it back then that much. But now I do make sure that I do that for my people. And I'm happy to do so. Okay. And this way, the recipe I'm doing today is going to be just a little tiny bit different, but the same concept. And you can switch up things in it how you want to for your family. Your family might like hot dogs better than these, and you can use those. Or you might find that you can only afford the hot dogs and not these. However suits your, you might find you have a lot of hot dog packs in the freezer that you want to use up. Then use those. Okay. But I went ahead and I sprayed a 9x13 Pyrex dish. Okay. And I already went ahead and cooked a pound and a half of ground beef, because you're not going to wait on me to cook ground beef, and you know how to cook ground beef. And so right now we're going to put in our spices, because after we assemble this, it's going to go in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some cumin, about a teaspoon of cumin. Okay, and then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of chili powder. And then I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay. And now I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't do this while it was cooking, because I wanted all of these spices and flavors to stay in the beef. If I would have done that while it was cooking, it would have been drained out with the grease and the fat, because you have to drain the beef. And this was 80-20 beef. But I didn't want my spices to go down the drain, so I put them in now, and they'll go in my dish along with this beef. And then I cut up a medium white onion, yellow onion I should say, doesn't matter what kind of onion you use, and a teaspoon of minced garlic I sauteed. I'm going to bring you forward. That was my oven. It's ready. This is going to cook at 375 degrees Fahrenheit once we get it put together. And it only goes in for about 25 minutes because we've already cooked the meat. And, you know, the onions and the garlic are already cooked, sauteed, you know. And I just sauteed with these with a little bit of olive oil. But I noticed in the original recipe, I think, I might be wrong, but I think it was an onion soup mix packet that we used. And I didn't care for it. I thought it was too oniony, too overpowering. So this time I sauteed my own onion to put in it. So that's the way it wouldn't be so overpowering, you know. So you have your garlic and your onion and your cumin and your chili powder and salt and pepper in here now. Okay. And then the next thing that goes in here, you want to cut these up. These or your hot dogs, whichever ones you choose. You can even, I like the jalapeno ones, but they just didn't have them. If they did, I would have grabbed those. Okay, oops. Take out too many here at one time. I'll get back there. Do 3 at a time, I guess. And we're just going to cut these. You can see me cutting them. So I thought that's not bad, you know, 63 cents more after, I mean, it may be bad, but for 3 years, but as far as one dish is concerned, 63 cents higher per serving isn't too bad compared to what I've seen some do and what I've seen some fast food places do. They really go on the rise quickly with their individual dishes. And we'll take these out. And the next thing, after you put these in here, you want to put in 2 cans of chili beans. And these had the sauce in them, the chili sauce, but we don't want this to be a watery dish. So I did go ahead and I drained them. Okay? Because it gets a certain amount of fluid anyway. And you'll see in a second. Okay. You see me overcrowding this bowl? I told you my husband was right. I overcrowd the bowls. Okay. And then this is the last thing we're going to put in this bowl. It's going to be casa mamitas, diced tomatoes with green chilies. And it's, you know this, it's like a Rotell, isn't it? That's what you're going to be putting in here too. And this I also drained, but you know there's still going to be some fluid in here. I think you could drain this forever and it would still have fluid in it because it's tomatoes, you know. Let me see if I can get that out with my spoon. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to stir this as best I can, but it's going in that Pyrex dish anyway. But you have to do something in the Pyrex dish first before you can put all this in it. Okay. And that is, we are going to put some cream cheese in the bottom of the dish first. Okay. And you can put, you can also put like a Velveeta cheese or a Mexican Velveeta cheese in little squares, little chunks all over the bottom of the dish, or little scoops of this. Or if you have the brick kind, which they ran out of in the store today. They ran completely out of the square ones with the cardboard. So I had to get this. So I'm just gonna, you actually could cut that in little squares or little blocks and put it all across the bottom of the pan, just sporadically here and there. But this I'm gonna have to scoop out and just put sporadically in the bottom. I'm gonna do that and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm bringing you back and you can see, or not, that see all the cream cheese dollops I have in there? That was both those packs of cream cheese. And we have a saying in our family that if it has cream cheese or sweetened condensed milk, you can't go wrong. Anyway, it's just sporadically put across the bottom of the pan. And then what you do is you pour this on top. Use this wooden spoon. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and poured it in. I had someone needed to get into the room, so I went ahead and just shut that down for a second. But here you go. You can see, you see it under there, all the cream cheese, and this, the beef, and the beans, and the Rotell, and the cheddar brats with the spices and everything, and the garlic and the onion and everything are poured on top. Okay? And now we need to put a special ingredient that I have in my fridge, and I'll go get it. And I'm going to get some water at the same time. I'm so parched. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to get a drink. It's 75 here today. It's hard to believe that on Saturday, this coming Saturday night, we're going to only have 25. And it's looking really ominous out, like we're going to have some kind of major rainstorm tomorrow or something. Okay, you know these Crescent doughs, the Crescent, that come in the tube? I have my son crack it open for me because I'm scared. I'm a great big scaredy cat, and I can't do it. But anyway, you know those. You see them in the stores. Well, we're going to put that on top. And then we'll bake this at 375 for 25 minutes. And then we'll sprinkle a little bit of fromage, a little bit of cheese on top. If I run out of that, I'm just going to shred some. Okay. So you just, let's see where it opens up. I can never figure out where these things open up. You just put it across it like that. I don't know why I laid it down in it. How brilliant, right? Let's see here. Well, I have to figure out where it opens. I think it opens right here. Okay. And then you just unroll it and it goes on top. You can move it over a bit. I'm getting meat on me. Okay. You just do the best you can to make like a design on top with pastry. Okay. I should have just used this. And it looks like that. I'm going to lift you up so you can see it. Okay. And now I'm going to bake this at 375 for 25 minutes. And this sprinkler, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top to melt it. And that's it. That's it. And then this can be cut into 6 rectangles, and each one only $2.89. And you have a beautiful chili cheddar cheese brat casserole. It's really going to be delicious. We've had it before and we love it. And I do have another video in 2019, like I told you, that uses the cubed Velveeta kind of cheese that melts, the orange kind. And not only will I put the recipe to this one, but I'll give you the link to the other one in case you want to check it out, in case it shows you in some ways better details on certain issues that you might, or questions you might be able to have answered. So you'll have this video and my old one to have reference. So I'll bring you back when this is done. Okay, so while that is baking in the oven, I just want to show you something. This is something my husband makes after working a 12-hour shift. He comes home, and these are almost gone because my boys eat them like crazy. He comes home and he makes yeast rolls. You see? That's what they look like. He comes home. I said, you have to tell me, why do you keep making yeast rolls? He said, I'm unwinding from work. It's been like this for about 3 weeks where he keeps making yeast rolls. And then he used to make coffee cake. I mean, really, really off the chain, great coffee cake. And yesterday in the mail came a springform pan to make cheesecake, New York style, deep cheesecake that you put in the oven. And then he got the ingredients for it today. Well, after he started learning about it and reading about it, he realizes he needs a day off work to do that. I'll bring you back. Okay, our supper is ready. And this is another long shift ahead of us for my husband. So I'm going to get off here, but I want to tell you that this dish is under $3. You can do what you want to it after it's made. You want to add sour cream and green onion to it? That's at your discretion. Guacamole, that's up to you. Salsa, that's up to you. You want to exchange the ground beef for ground turkey because of health reasons or because you just like it or like the price? Then do it. Can you not digest beans and you'd rather have rice? Then do it. I'm just giving you a dish that gives you an outline of something that you can work with. And whatever you have in the house, try to work with it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like now. There it is. Okay, that's what it looks like. It's really, really pretty. It's really, really good. And that is the chili cheddar brat casserole. And like I said, remember all the things I said, and I'll give you the ingredients and the link to my old one. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.